Week 9, lesson number 2. Problem solving involving systems of linear equation in two variables by substitution. So remember that in the substitution method for solving systems, we solve for one of the variables in one of the equations and then substitute the variable in the other equation. It is anchored on the substitution principle, which states that if two expressions are equal, then either may replace the other without changing the equality. Example 1. Solve the system by substitution method. 3x minus y equals 20 as the first equation and x equals negative 5 as the second equation. Since the second equation is obviously the value of variable x is negative 5, we can now replace it to the first equation. So 3x minus y is equal to 20. The x here will be replaced by negative 5 minus y equals 20. Simplifying, that will give you negative 15 minus y equals 20. Addition property of equality. So we need to add both sides by 15. So on the right side will become 20 plus 15. So what is 20 plus 15? That is 35. So we have negative y is equal to 35. So by multiplication property of equality or division property of equality, we can divide or multiply both sides by negative 1. So the value of y here is negative 35. We already have the value for y and the value for x. Let's check if our obtained values are correct. We need to substitute it to the first equation. So 3x minus y equals 20. Okay, so 3 times the value of x is negative 5 minus the value of y that we obtain is negative 35. That must be equal to 20. So 3 times negative 15 is negative 15. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So minus times negative 35, that is positive 35 equals to 20. So it makes sense. So the negative 15 plus 35 is actually positive 20. So it makes true. The statement is true. So therefore, we have the solution of negative 5, negative 35. So that is the first equation, the first example. Second example, 2x plus y equals 3 as the first equation, x plus y equals negative 1 as the second equation. So first thing to do, we can use the equation number 1 or equation number 2. It depends on you. So let's show first how to use the equation number 1. So let me decide that variable y. Okay, so I'm gonna look for the value of variable y. So we can have 2x plus y equals 3. Okay, add both sides by negative 2x. So it will have y equals negative 2x plus 3. So this will be the new equation. Later we will gonna use it. So I'll be using this new equation as to substitute it to the second equation. So the second equation here is x. Okay, so I'll just use another color. Okay, so x plus y equals negative 1. So this is the second equation. So from here, the variable y here will be substituted by the new equation. So we have x plus the value of y, which is equivalent to actually negative 2x plus 3 equals negative 1. Okay, take note class that you have to make sure that the equal signs must be aligned. So don't copy this one since I don't have much space. Okay, so simplifying, Okay, I'll need to rewrite it here. X plus negative 2x plus 3 must be equal to negative 1. So we have here x minus 2x plus 3 equals negative 1. So x minus 2x is actually negative x plus 3 equals negative 1. So by addition property, we can add both sides by negative 3. So your negative x will have negative 1 minus 3. So what is negative 1 minus 3? That is negative 4. So same process. Since the variable x here is negative, we need to simplify further. So it means the value for x is actually positive 4. So we already have the value for variable x, which is positive 4. And we can now use it to solve for y. Remember that our y a while ago, the new equation is actually y equals negative 2x plus 3. So the value for x here that we obtain is actually positive 4. So we substitute it. So plus 3. So what is negative 2 times 4? That is negative 8 plus 3. So y is equal to negative 5. So the value for variable y is negative 5. So therefore, our solution here is positive 4, negative 5. This is actually the point of intersection if we will graph these two equations or this system on the Cartesian plane. Okay, so let's check if our solution is correct. So we need to substitute it on the first equation. So we have 2 times the value of x obtained is positive 4 plus the value of y is negative 5. It must be equal to 3. So obviously 2 times 4, 8 plus negative 5 is positive 3. That is correct. So this is actually correct for the first equation. How about on the second equation? If you will add actually 4 and negative 5, it will give you actually negative 1. So therefore, the solution that we obtain here on the second example is actually correct. Okay, moving on. So for the other solutions that I mentioned, I will be presenting it on the other video. Okay, so for our example number 3, so let's put it on dealing with word problems. So first problem is actually a number problem. So in dealing word problem, first thing to do is you have to understand it, and then you need to think of the best way how to answer it. Okay, so let's read. The sum of two numbers is 29. 5 more than 3 times the smaller number is equal to the larger number. Find the numbers. So you already read and understand it. Second thing to do is we need to represent certain variable by the given unknown. Okay, so the first statement here is the sum of two numbers is 29. So we are looking for two numbers. And from the given problem, we are looking for a smaller and a larger number. So we can represent x as the larger number and y as the smaller number. So first statement here is the sum of two numbers is 29. So if we're gonna translate it into an equation, that will be x plus y equals 29. It means this will be our equation number 1. So for the equation number 2, we need to go back to the second statement. It states there that 5 more than 3 times the smaller number. So we have 5 more than. So we have 5 more than is plus 3 times the smaller number. So the smaller number here is actually y equals to the larger number is x. So this will be your equation number 2. So let's proceed to solution. So I will rewrite here x plus y equals 29, and the second equation, what is the second equation? That is 5 plus 3y equals x. So it means the variable x here is equivalent, has an equivalent of 5 plus 3y. So we can now substitute equation number 2 to equation number 1. So here, 5 plus 3y is actually replaced to the first equation. So plus y equals 29. So simplifying, 3y plus y is actually 4y. So bring down 5 equals 29. So by addition property or subtraction property, if you're gonna add, you have to add both sides by negative 5. So if we are to add negative 5, it will have 4y equals 29 minus 5. So what is 29 minus 5? That is actually 24. So by division property of equality, divide both sides by 4. Your y here is actually 6. So we have now the value of y. We need to look for the x. Since going back to equation number 2, the value of x here is actually 5 plus 3y. So that is our x. So we need to substitute y, or 6 by y, y by 6. So 3 times 6 is equal to x. So what is 5 plus 3 times 6? That is actually 18. So we can write it as x is equal to 5 plus 18, that is 23. We already now have the values of x and y. And as you observe, if we need to add the 2, the result is 29. And remembered our representation a while ago that the x is our larger number and y is the smaller number. So since x is the larger number, it is equivalent to 5 more than 3 times the smaller number. Okay, so the solution here, we can write it as 23, 6. That's the end. So for more solutions, alternative solutions in dealing this kind of different problems, watch out for the next video lessons.